So we will have our next speaker, Elfreda. Hello, people. Do we have Elfreda in the house?
Yes, we do.
Hello, Elfreda. How are you? You're very, very welcome. So let us introduce Elfreda Sheriff. Elfreda Sheriff is the founder of Kilsa Consulting, where they empower micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises and entrepreneurs. Elfreda has over 17 years of business management experience working with large, medium, and small firms. She has experience in strategy, startups, entrepreneurship, trade promotion, economic development, and international policy management. Through her work at Kilsa, Elfreda has supported over 3,000 small businesses and startups and entrepreneurs. She's passionate about women's economic empowerment and works diligently to support women-owned businesses. Elfreda has also worked with a wide range of clients, including development organizations, government agencies, multilateral agencies, Fortune 500 corporations, and non-profit organizations in the US, Nigeria, Liberia, and Ghana. She has an MBA in entrepreneurship and strategy management, an MBA in international business, and an MSc in international policy management from Kennesaw State University. Elfreda is a certified business development services provider. Can we welcome Elfreda to the floor? Elfreda, I yield the mic to you.
Thank you so much. Can you guys hear me, Chinwe? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Loud and clear. Fantastic. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much, Noella and team. What a great 2 days it has been, listening from yesterday to today. And I mean, just everybody just been, I'm supposed to be speaking or participating, but I've just been getting my own nuggets too. You should see my notes. I have everything in here from Wumi, Akoswa, Kruti. I mean, everybody, even yesterday. So it's just been amazing. This is just something great. And like you said, Chinwe, for this to be happening at the beginning of the year, what perfect time, right? We're doing all these resolution, and then here comes Noella and team with Growth Conference. Like, wait, what? Even if I wasn't like speaking, I would still be here. That's how good, I knew it was going to be. So Noella, thank you for having me. Thank you, your team.
Thank you, Elfreda, for being here.
Yeah, excellent work. So we're just going to talk a little bit about monetizing your skills or, your talent or anything that you have. And it's interesting, Noella, I don't know if you guys did this intentionally by making the monetization at the last, because it seemed like everything else, just listening to everybody's like, whoa, I'm going to touch on that. I'm going to touch on that. So everything from before, it just adds to what I'm going to say, or it plays some role, whether it's technology or, self-awareness or your mindset or networking, everything adds into this. So I'm listening and I was just smiling. I was like, let me find out Noella, knew what she was doing by putting this to the end. So we're just going to talk briefly about, the different ways or different things, or even whether you should consider monetizing your skills or your talent, or maybe you've thought about it, right? But you're not sure whether or not it's for you. And we're going to get into all of that. So without, delaying or any much ado, let's just go ahead, Chinwe, and get started.
So do you want to tell us a bit more of what you want, and then we'll go ahead and ask you the questions? You want to touch a bit, or we should just shoot straight with the questions?
Let's just shoot straight, and then we can take maybe questions from the audience too.
Yeah, fantastic. So, Elfreda is to talk about monetizing your opportunities, time, talent, skills, and what we need to know. And we can never do enough justice to this topic.
Right.
So the best way to glean from her is to actually shoot straight. Actually, shooting straight should be one of the, nuggets
Yes, let's go.
Understanding what one knows and what people want or need is key to successful monetization.
Mhm.
How can individuals bridge this gap between their expertise and the market demands?
So,
And what approaches
mhm.
can help them? It's a two-pronged question. So
Okay.
how do they do this, and what approaches can help them align their knowledge or skills with the solutions people seek?
Okay, so the first thing will be is you have to identify, what you're good at, right? We talk about skills. If you're going to be monetizing somewhere, you're going to include technology. So again, it's just awesome that we had Okoswa in the beginning talking about technology and the different ways or maybe groups or communities you can join to improve your skill, right? Because technology is going to be an enabler. Right. So when we talk about monetizing, we're talking about using technology. How can you do it? How can I get online? So I have a certain skill set that maybe I'm not even sure of. Like sometimes, as women, we can tend to, look down and be like, who's going to pay me for that? Or is it really important? Should I really do that? And just talk down, the imposter syndrome comes in and we just go down on ourselves. But you have to identify what you have. What is that skill set that you have? What do you have maybe that you're passionate about? Because you want it to be something that, I don't know if you guys have heard the phrase that if you do what you like, you don't have to work a day in your life, right? So you want it to be something that you're good at, there's something that you like, something that you're passionate about. And then that way, when you get to monetizing, you're able to present maybe this unique experience for your audience, because that's what it's going to get to. What are your audience looking for? What do they find value in? You want to be able to provide that from your own unique perspective. So it's going to take some digging. So I'm thinking like, okay, should I do this or should I do that? Or what am I really comfortable with? So you want to identify that and just go on your knowledge and skills, right? Can you improve it? Should you improve it? Okay, so maybe you know a little designing or bag or maybe creating this online course, but are there things that you can do to make yourself better? Right. So it's not just that getting online monetizing, because once you get out there, the competition is just worldwide, right? So you're going to be competing with people across countries, across continents. So how are you going to make yourself stand out? You're going to do that by constantly improving your skills, by using technology. So we're going to have to learn technology, digital age, it's here. Like Chinua say, it's here and we have to just get there and just learn it, right? So improve your skills, identify, what you have that you're going to do. And then for the second part of the question, you want to have your own niche, right? Yeah, I think it's Marianne yesterday that talked about your trends, right? So you want to have your niche, certain trends. And she said, be careful with trends, right? You don't just want to go with the flow. Sometimes you want to be the flow, right? So even if you have, you're going with the general trend, you can create your own unique perspective in there, right? That will set you apart. That will make your audience feel like, oh, even though this other person is doing exactly what they're doing, I want to come with this person. So that way it sets you apart.
Wow. Thank you. That create your own niche. I just love the way the sessions are flowing from
It is.
yesterday to
Yes.
today, the tech, and then even from Puti and also from Wumi, it's just,
It
flowing.
is. Yeah, you
Yes,
guys did a good
amazing.
job.
Noella, great job. The panelists, amazing.
Mm.
So now with what you've said, when assessing our personal assets such as time, talents, and skills, how can individuals effectively identify the unique value they possess? And what strategies can they employ to
Oh,
leverage these assets?
okay, to identify your unique strategy, we'll go back to, again, I had the notes, but then Wumi touched on it a little bit, and I
Yes.
think Pretty touched self-awareness, right? You have to know yourself, and you have to be comfortable with yourself. You have to know who you are, and let that be okay. And if you do you journaling, or you have your different way you're talking to people, you're getting feedback, maybe you're asking your close friends, maybe you're asking your boss, you say, okay, what do you think I'm good at? Sometimes we don't even know what we're good at because we so often like just minimize who we are. Right. So we have to go and talk. And sometimes you talk to, and they'll tell you, oh, you're a kind person. And then you'd be like, kind, me? Really? Yes. Take the results you get, write it down. You have to be self-aware if you're going to provide that unique, because it's going to come back to you, right? It's going to come back to what you're comfortable with. So you have to know who you are, what you're comfortable with, and what you can or cannot do. Because once you get out there, it can be a wild, wild world. So where would you stop, right? Not even so much as other things, but sometimes it'll come at someone to have like, oh, okay, if you do this, I'll give you X amount of money. Are you willing to go that far? So what do you stand for? Have that self-awareness where you know who you are and you understand who you are and you're comfortable with it. So once you're able to determine, okay, this is who I am, I'm good at this. Noella, for example, or even me, for example, I work with small businesses. Okay, I like helping small businesses. I like advising women entrepreneurs. I like telling them what to do. And that's what I do. Because if you get out into the world, I don't know if it's Wumi or who said this, that if you don't know who you are, there's so many things. The world is noisy. Someone somewhere is going to tell
that
what to be. And then you will lose your way. So if you're monetizing and you don't have a set where you're going, anywhere would be the way. And then next thing you know, you've been in business for 1 or 2 years and now you're out. Why? Because you didn't have a solid ground that you built your monetization business on.
So I really like what you've said, and Wumi touched on it, and she also touched on how we need to do some assessments to tell us our strengths. Even yesterday, Miriam spoke to that. And then I like what you're saying, how you jump in and jump out. It also reminds me of staying power that was raised yesterday by Ndidi. So everybody is saying something. Also, of course, we have talked about hard work, meaning everybody's like, it's not a flash in the pan, it's hard work. So that brings us to the next thing. Sometimes individuals may overlook monetization opportunities within their existing skill sets or knowledge base. How can we now adopt a mindset that recognizes, for instance, okay, so this is me. How can I get up and say, I will have the right mindset that will recognize the skill and, go back to overlooked opportunities or even grab opportunities when I see them without shrinking?
And this answer is going to go back to the whole theme of the conference, right? The growth conference. You're going to have to develop a growth mindset. That's it. We're going to have to develop a growth mindset. And people with growth mindset, they're constantly, they know that their abilities can be developed over time, right? They can be improved over time. So they're not hard on themselves. And they take action, right? They take action. I think yesterday, was it Dr. Bahata or Bahati? She said that when she got to a certain place, she said, oh, this is not going to happen. I'm not going to be broken again. And she said she took action. And sometimes taking action might be some of the smallest thing. What did they say? If you're climbing a ladder, just focus on one step. It might just be one day at a time, but you have to build resilience, right? In yourself. You have to believe in yourself. I wrote something the other day that self-confidence or self-belief is a superpower. And it really is when it comes to having a growth mindset, right? If you're a fixed mindset, you're just thinking, oh, no, I can't change. This is who I am. We even have some people that might not even be comfortable with technology, or they don't even want to try, like, I don't want to do that. I'll just get my kids to come in. Just come and fix my phone or come and do my app. But what if we just try? Right? What if we just take that little step and say, okay, if this is the technology we're in, the technology era we're in, I'm going to be in this technology era. No matter how many mistakes I make, I'm going to get there and I'm going to learn, right? Or even maybe getting online. You might be having to do a video and you're like, oh, I don't want to put this video out. They're going to think I'm this. They're going to think I'm that. Sometimes people are hardly even thinking about that. And even if,
Interesting.
right? Even if they're thinking about, so what, right? Everything that's going on in this world, you are not worried about what you're worried about the video that I'm putting up. Okay. So you have to have that growth mindset. You have to put in effort. It's going to take hard work, right? And that's why I said the growth mindset or having a growth or fixed mindset, all the speakers before, they just touched on it. That's why I was just laughing and saying that, how did it just worked out, Noella? It really worked out because my notes just kind of went in with what they were already saying, right? So monetize, sometimes we overlook it, like I stated before, because sometimes we have imposter syndrome, right? We think we're not good enough.
Yeah.
You know, we think we're not good enough, or we think our talent or skills are not good
Can be
enough. So
better.
we downplay like, oh no, I don't want to go online. But the person that you're seeing online is because they've just maybe sidelined their own insecurities and they've gotten there and they're doing it, and they just take that one step. Okay, first you have to find what it is that you're good at. You have to find that thing that you want to do, right?
Take action.
Continue to develop your skills, right? So maybe you have it, but you're not at a 10 out of 10 yet, but just that little work that you would do, and it would take years. And I think Ndidi said yesterday that she stayed at her GT Bank for what, 20 years or so? So 20 years might look like, oh, she's an MD now, but hey, she put in 20 years of work. And you might have to do that. You might have to do that too. You might have to put in a lot of work to get to where you want to be, where you start making money. Those you see making money from monetization now, they might not just have started today. They might have started 10 years ago. So don't compare yourself to them and say, oh, I get it doing this, but I'm not. And then you stop, or you don't go and do what you're supposed to do. You start, and we have to be patient.
Yeah.
To be patient if you're doing, monetization, work on your craft, improve your visuals. So make sure what you're putting out there looks good, sounds good, for your audience, if you want to build. Because again, remember, you're not, when you put stuff online, you're not only doing it for your locality, right? You're looking at other, especially if you're online, the word is flat there, right? So everything is accessible. Someone from India can see it, which should be your goal. I think Christy said you should have a global mindset. Have a global mindset, so that way what you're doing, you're creating it for a global audience, right? So you want to know what your audience want. You want to know what they need. You want to be able to provide value to them, because that's what they're going to come for. Even if you're a comedian, the value that you're going to be providing is laughter. After a long day, if I play the funniest video, it's because I want to laugh. I want to, relax. So that's the value. So what is the value that you're going to be providing? You should be able to answer that.
Thank you very much. I hear you say value provision, and that's what everybody has touched on. I hear you say take action, and I hear you say above all, have a growth mindset.